The Hunter x Hunter Dark Continent Expedition arc is looking to be the most deadliest Hunter x Hunter arc of all time. We haven't had too many deaths in Hunter x Hunter, most being maybe in the Chimera Ant arc, but even then we didn't have too many, other than random fodder characters that we have every now and then. But in the Dark Continent, this is looking to be the most deadliest continent. For those of you that haven't read the manga, the Dark Continent is the continent that's outside the human world, outside where the regular Hunter x Hunter humans live. The Dark Continent is also where the Chimera Ants came from. We got a little sneak peek of it in the end of the anime when Jean was just talking, and then we see a visual of like the human world where they live in, and then it zooms out and you see this huge world. That huge world is the Dark Continent. And right now, in this current story arc in the manga, we have certain characters that are going out and they're going to explore the Dark Continent. In the manga, it also says that Dark Continent survival rate is 0.04%. So we have thousands of characters heading towards the Dark Continent. So that's thousands of characters that are going to die. So I decided to make just the predictions of who I think is going to die. So if I don't mention this character in my prediction video, it means that I don't think they're going to die. And maybe in the end of the video, I'll bring up some major characters and explain why I don't think they're going to die. But pretty much I'm separating this video into three categories. The first category is characters that I think have a small chance of dying. The second category is characters that I think have a decent chance of dying. And then the final category is characters that I think have a big chance of dying. Characters that I see dying in the future. Now let's start off with my first list. And to start it off, I'm going to start off with Leorio. Now the reason I say Leorio has a small percent chance of dying is because we all know Leorio is pretty weak. Out of the four main characters, he is obviously the weakest one in Hunter x Hunter. And in the Dark Continent, I just don't see Leorio surviving, because the Dark Continent is an A rank mission. The Chimera Ants were B rank. Now honestly, I don't even see Leorio surviving a fight with most of the Chimera Ants. So why would he survive the Dark Continent? The only reason I'm having Leorio be a small chance of dying is because he's the main character. If Leorio wasn't a main character, he would have a big chance of dying. But just because it's rare to see main characters die in shonen mangas and animes, I feel like Togashi might not kill a main character just because you never really see that. So I guess you could say Leorio has plot armor if you want to say that. But if it wasn't for that plot armor, Leorio would be dead for sure. Now next in the list we got Kurapika. Same reason as Leorio. The reason he's down in the list is because he's one of the main characters and you rarely see main characters die. But I think Kurapika has a chance as well, because right now, Kurapika isn't worried about the spiders. Right now, all that Kurapika's worried about is retrieving his scarlet eyes. And in this boat ride, there's a character that has lots of scarlet eyes, and Kurapika's hunting that character down. And my prediction is Kurapika is eventually going to kill that character, and he's going to retrieve his eyes. So Kurapika's story will pretty much be done. He'll be done with the spiders, and he'll be done with his eyes. So since Kurapika's story is done, I see a small chance of Togashi just killing him off. But like I said, he's a main character, so the chances are very slim. The next character I want to talk about is that I don't know his name. I don't even know if they've revealed his name, so I'll just show a picture of him. Pretty much there's this character in the manga who works for the V5. V5 is like pretty much a big government organization of Hunter x Hunter. And the V5 is sending this man over to the Dark Continent with everyone else, pretty much taking notes where he can let the V5 know what's going on and report his findings to the V5. And same reason as the audio, I'm putting him down here because I don't see this guy as being a strong character. We haven't seen anything about him. I don't even know if he knows Nen. Either way, just basing on what I've seen of him so far, he just looks like a weak character, so I just don't see him surviving. Alright, so that was my list of characters that I think have a small chance of dying. Now, we're going to go to the characters that I think have a decent chance of dying. Now, these characters I see, it can go either way. Either they won't or they will. It can go either way. First, I'm going to start off with the Kaken bodyguards. Now, the Kaken bodyguards that I'm talking about are Kurapika, Biscuit, Hanzo, Melody, Basho, and Kurapika's master, Izunavi. I already talked about Kurapika. And to be honest, Biscuit, I don't really know if Biscuit's going to die. But the other four, I say they have a decent chance. Because these other four, they've showed up in the manga and the anime before, but they've never been big characters. Maybe the biggest one is probably Melody. Melody played a pretty big role. So I could see them maybe being used as fodder characters, because all the Kakens, they're all having this battle royal, just killing each other, and they're bodyguards, so they're obviously gonna get in the fight. And I'm sure there's a decent chance that at least one of these characters will die in the whole battle royal. Now next, I'm gonna talk about the ruler of the land of Kaken, which is, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna pronounce it correctly, but Nasubi Hoikoro. Now I say Nasubi has a pretty good chance of dying because he's not a good guy, and a lot of times villains, even though I wouldn't say he's a villain, but he's not a good guy. He's a bad guy, I guess you could say. He's not a villain of Hunter x Hunter, but he's a bad guy. And usually bad guys tend to die in an anime. So that's why I feel like Nasubi has a decent chance of death. Now we're gonna get into the characters that I think have a big chance of dying in the Hunter x Hunter Dark Continent arc. Now I'm gonna just get these characters out of the way because I already made a video on these characters. If you want to check out that video, I'll put it down in the description. Pretty much it's a video of me talking about who will kill Chrollo in Hunter x Hunter. And the reason I'm saying that is because I think Chrollo and the rest of the Phantom Troop will die in the Dark Continent Expedition arc. The Phantom Troop already had a whole story arc dedicated to them in the York New arc, and now we have Hisoka hunting them down. Hisoka's killing one by one each Phantom Troop member in the manga. He already killed 2 and he's planning on killing the rest, including Chrollo. And not just Hisoka, but Kurapika is also heading towards the Dark Continent. So Kurapika will probably bump into a Phantom Troop member, and if he bumps into one, he'll probably do something about it and might end up killing them. See, I'm not going to talk about these guys too much because I already made a video on them. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it down in the description. Go ahead and check that out. You can check out my predictions of how I think they're going to die and when I think they're going to die. Now, next on characters I think have a big % chance of dying are the Princes of Kaken. As I stated before, the Princes of Kaken are having a battle royal, death battles. Only one Prince of Kaken will live to become the next king. And if it goes out the way they're planning it, well then, of course, they're all going to die except for one. And if I were to make a prediction, I would say that Walbo would be the one to survival. Everyone else is gonna die. Especially the prince that has Kurapika's scarlet eyes. Because Kurapika's hunting that guy down. And Kurapika, if he runs into that guy, he's gonna kill him for sure. And also, I feel like these are gonna be one of the first characters to die. Out of all the characters I'm listing, I see these guys being one of the first ones to die. And also maybe the Phantom Troop. And next on the list, I'm gonna put in the Zodiacs. Now in the manga, Jing and Pariston, they left the Zodiac 12, so then it became a Zodiac 10, but then they added Leorio Kurapika, so now it's a Zodiac 12 again. I already talked about Leorio Kurapika, I think they have a small chance of dying, but the other 10, I say they have a big chance of dying. Now I'm not saying all 10 of them will die, but I can see maybe half of them dying, especially the ones that haven't got any development. Because the Dark Continent, it's gonna be insane. There's gonna be a lot of death, and when you have a group of 12, I'm sure at least half of them are gonna die. If I were to guess, I would say maybe Kurapika, Leorio, Chiro, and maybe Mizai are gonna survive. And the rest, I don't know. The rest, I could see them going down. And lastly, I want to talk about Beyond's Expedition Team. I feel like a lot of characters in Beyond's Expedition Team are gonna die. We've been slowly introduced to Beyond's team. We've been getting a little bit of development from each character, but most of our development is coming from Beyond, Jing, and Pariston. So I see a lot of Beyond's team just being fodder and just dying in the Dark Continent, fighting some crazy monsters, I'm sure. Now, to make something clear, I don't think Jing or Beyond will die, but I do see Pariston dying in the end. I see Pariston being the final death of the Dark Continent Expedition arc. The reason I think this is because I think this is Jing's story arc. I feel like in this story arc, we're not going to be focusing on Gon or Killua, but instead we're going to be focused on Jing and some others like Beyond and Kurapika. But in the end, I see this as Jing's story arc, because Jing's goal is to explore. He wants to explore. He wants everything that he can't have. And the Dark Continent is one big exploration place for Jing. And because I see this as Jing's story, and Pariston is seen as Jing's #1 rival, I can see the end maybe just being a battle between Jing and Pariston. And we've been getting hints throughout the manga that Pariston doesn't like Jing. Pariston likes him as an enemy, but I feel like Pariston just wants to kill Jing. He wants to see Jing suffer. Because Pariston is one twisted man. He's probably the most twisted and evil man we've seen in Hunter x Hunter. So Pariston's most likely going to try to have Jing killed or just have Jing suffer. And of course, Jing is not going to let that happen. So I can see the end just having Jing and Pariston maybe having a fight, and in the end Jing will probably kill Pariston. I'm not saying that because I think he's the strongest character. I don't think Pariston is the strongest character. I think we're going to meet even stronger characters in the Dark Continent for sure. But even though we're going to be stronger characters, I feel like Pariston is going to be the main antagonist, especially the main antagonist towards Jing. So yes, those are my death predictions of the Dark Continent Expedition arc. Alright, and as you saw, I don't see Beyond Netero dying, just because we already had Isaac Netero die, so just having another Netero death will be kind of, I don't think we need another Netero death. I also don't see Jing dying, just because I think they're still going to do more with Jing and Gon. And also, I don't see Hisoka dying, because we all know Hisoka's hiding out with spiders, so Hisoka's probably going to end up in the Dark Continent as well. I still think the Gon and Hisoka fight is going to happen eventually, and the Gon and Hisoka fight can't happen if Hisoka's dead. So that's why I think they're surviving. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's predictions for the Hunter x Hunter Dark Continent Expedition arc. Please let me know your predictions down there in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, and why. And I'll be seeing you guys for more predictions of Hunter x Hunter. Thank you. Subscribe. Bye bye.